It's live. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is Garage Geek, and I have Jeff of Jeff's Cool Cave of Books. Not Jeff's Cool Cave, but Jeff's Cave.
No, you just said Cool Cave. That's okay. Jeff's Cave.
Your cave is cool, man.
So, how you doing, David?
Good. Because of me, of course, I was like waiting for Jeff, and then I hadn't even sent the link.
I'm flexing around with my new webcam here. Hope it doesn't fall off there, but at least it's better than it was so bad in the stream last weekend. My camera from my computer. So.
It was a little blurry. I'll admit it, but hey, you know what? We're all accepting out here in YouTube land. So we're celebrating that you got a new webcam. Hi, Ghost Raiders.
And hey, Greg.
Channel.
And Chadwick. All right. Did you check out Chadwick's Son of Monsterpalooza video? It's pretty good. Yeah, it's really good. He does I think he's going to have a follow-up about the costume show maybe, but he did about 5 minutes of touring around the various
I think I did
exhibits and stuff, and then he talks about a bunch of cool books that he got and movies and things.
Oh, that's cool. I think I watched it, but I watched a whole bunch and put comments. I kind of forgot what I did.
It's hard to keep up with everything. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, especially with the busy schedule. I'm so low. Like my face is going into the comments. I need to move a little bit closer. Oh wait, you know what? I could just move my. There we go. See?
There we go. We figure it out eventually.
Oh, my sister's here. My sister's so crazy on the phone. She said, "I didn't put like on your last video because I didn't like it." I was like, "What? You're my sister. You have to click like whether you like it or not."
She didn't like your last video. What was wrong with your last video? Your Friday your Friday chat, you mean?
Ask her. I don't know. It was funny though. I was like, okay. I wanted to show you.
Linda, what did you not like about his last video?
Yeah, I'll type it in. I don't know if she's able to. She's got a small phone. So I wanted to show you this backstage. This came in the mail. George Gross cover. And it's all
from the Men's Adventure Library. Nice.
Yeah, and it's just all art. It's so cool. It's just every page, just the covers of those old magazines.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm very excited. It just came about an hour ago.
You got the hardback version too, so you probably got a more stuff, more goodies in there.
That's one good thing about this company. Like they give you a bonus for buying the hardcover.
Well, in their magazines too, did you ever see? There's a couple I have. I showed one off. They put out Bob Dice and another guy, Bill Cunningham, put out.
I haven't seen that one.
Quarterly, and they're magazines technically, but they're like 150 pages.
I know. I need to buy those. You got me on that kick. They look beautiful.
They are gorgeous, and They do give options, right? So they have what they call a noir version, which is all black and white inside. But then why would you want? I mean, it's cheap. They're cheaper, which is nice. They give you an option. And then they also have a digital Kindle version. Little cheesecake for.
Uh-oh.
And then they have like articles on Killer Croc movies and stuff. So these ones are themed. The first one was a cowboy one. They have. Spies. They have Vietnam War. They have, UFOs. So I got to get more of them. They are a little expensive. It was boring, she said.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow. Only sisters, you get straight talk from your sister and your brother.
I know, right? I'm like, dang.
They don't lie to you.
I'm wondering if we could just take a second to, Gore. I haven't seen Gore in so long. Welcome, Gore.
Women's Adventure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There must be Women's Adventure somewhere, Gore.
It's called Playgirl. I wanted to go ahead and do a quick kind of, what do you call it? Advertisement. So I know we're here to talk about Parker, but this morning I texted the guy from Fathom Press, and
Jason, yeah,
and he was so nice. He wrote me back by email. I didn't text him, I emailed him, and I went ahead and I plunged and I bought the 6 books in the series. So I just want to kind of course I'm going to be reviewing them when I get them, but
You got all 6 of them. Wow.
Yes, I got all 6, and I even pre-ordered the 7th. And it was expensive, but it's a small business, and
they do a really nice job.
So we'll see after they arrive. But I got that from a YouTuber, and you remember, like, the YouTuber had him on his show. Do you remember the guy?
Yeah, of course. That's my friend Nick, the guy who makes these shirts. Nick at the Book Graveyard. He had that interview with him, and Jason talked about how he acquires rights and tracks down the estates, or in some cases, the author's still alive. That Jack Vance, Bad Ronald, sounds pretty gnarly. I don't know if you've seen the old TV movie of Bad Arnold, which apparently is a after-school special compared to the book. But and that Cold Front sounds really fun, and especially Riptide, the hurricane/killer shark one. So you got all of them. That's interesting.
I just figured, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge. It's a brand new company, I think. I think these are the first
couple years. I think he started 2023. Maybe.
Are there other books than these 6?
He announced a bunch in that video, but all the other things they have are chapbooks. Like they did the H.G. Wells Sea Invaders chapbook, and they did a few other things, which are cool. But he did announce a big slate coming up. So you should mention when you get him and do a review or whatever. You should link him, and I'll bet he'll.
I definitely will.
He might send you some swag too. He has these little things. Apparently one of them comes in like a body bag, a body evidence bag. He has these little extra things he sends out with them. So
that's pretty cool.
Order directly from him.
So did you want to say anything like I did? I kind of pumped up some stuff before we started.
I don't really have much new. I do want to tell you, because of your comics influence. My wife went back on Yahoo Japan auction. There's not a lot, but she put in a bid for 2 Ghost Rider 50-year-old comics, but we lost that bid. We weren't really bidding. It was like at the last minute, and all of a sudden people jumped in a little bidding war. But we put in one for a couple of Sergeant Rocks and a Donald Duck and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, believe it or not. So kind of a weird grab bag there, but there's not a lot on available here. There is a lot that's pretty beat up, but there's a lot of like 21 or 40 magazines, but it's got an Eerie in there. It's got a Famous Monsters of Filmland in there. I think it's got a whole bunch of mix of Marvel and DC and other Charlton and things, and Dell. And cool. There's a Tarzan Dell Gold Key, I think, that she's watching for me. Yeah. So they're not super. I mean, that lot is like 2,000 yen, so that's like what, $15. So I'm sure it's going to go up. They're beat to shit, but there may be some.
If you can get it cheap, it's worth it. But don't. If they're beat up, don't pay more for them. In fact, I wish you were here, because I would send you a box of like a starter kit of all these comic collections that I have that I kind of want to get rid of, but they're really good, and they're books, and I would just send them to you. But the problem is,
keep them to the side, and I'll pay you back for them, because we'll be coming back to Washington State next summer. So
yeah, no, I'll just send them there. You don't have to pay me. So that's cool. Don't go down. I'm going down all of these this book rabbit hole.
Book rabbit holes. Well, the funny thing is
influencing each other.
Yes, I guess so. We're influencers of a sort. I'm not. It sounds funny. I love superhero movies, and I like the superhero comics and stuff. But I'm more interested in these little weird, off the beaten track comics, like the you showed that DC's Finest horror one, and
those are wonderful.
The EC ones, and like not all of them, but like the what is it? Weird Science and Weird Horror, and some of the Dell and Gold Key and Charlton. I'm not quite like Donald Rex, who get into the romance comics, although they have beautiful art. But some of the horror ones or whatever, can't get live chat on my Fire tablet. Okay, Captain Strangelove.
I love
his name.
He's got an amazing comic collection. Like, I mean, he's got comics from like EC Comics and all those old horror comics. Like, his comic collection is crazy. And he's actually been on the show with me. He's a great guy. I did just watch his video and comment on it, but he's got Ghost Riders that aren't the Marvel ones. These are from like the late 40s or early 50s. And it's a totally different company. And it's pretty cool. I already responded to him in the chat. While you were going on. No, I'm joking. So I got to get rid of that. So you gave me some homework.
Well, I didn't mean to. You said, let's talk about things that scared us. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a little vague. So let me get some more detail. I went to work on it when I was on the train. So.
Look at all my notes I have. I'm like, dang, I gave you some homework.
Well, you said first, though, before we get to that, you said you wanted to talk to me about something regarding the canine prompt, Paul's dog tags prompt. Was that something you wanted to do on air, or was that something else?
Oh, no, that was, that's something I want to talk to you about in private. So thanks for putting all that.
Oh, sorry.
It's nothing bad. But, I just wanted to talk to you about how it went.
Well, you probably wanted to give me a hand since I'm behind on making that my version because I'm not sure.
I
am going to do one. I'm going to do one. I've been thinking about it. I don't really think of books that way, but I liked your creative answers to it. So.
Oh, good. So you want to go first? I'll make you big since you're on my
okay. Well, I don't know if I have much to. Some of these I don't have anything to show. So,
I have pictures on my iPad because I wasn't digging through everything. So
I tried to have. I tried to get my old tablet, my old Prime HD 10 Fire tablet to work, and it was just giving me all sorts of problems this morning. So I was just going to say about the scariest film. That was our first prompt. What's the scariest film? It's not favorite horror film, but scariest. So if I was going to say favorite, it'd be like what Paul said last week, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, probably. But I couldn't find my Blu-ray of that to show, but the scariest, the only one that ever gave me nightmares and for 3 days running was Ju-On the Grudge, which I mentioned last week, the Japanese version, although the American version is pretty scary too. But
wow.
And I never have nightmares over horror movies. I never have in my life, really. But that one, as an adult and as a mid-30-year-old, creeped me out. So, yeah. No, you're right. I was watching, what's Captain Strangelife's name? Do you know? I should know better than to ask you, David, but you won't know his name. I should ask you that. But anyway, Captain, I think.
Put your name in the chat because I do know his name. I sent him, I sent him a package once, and now on the spot, I can look him up in my.
That's all right. I was watching Sleepy Readers chat with Donald Rex about those books he was putting together of the artists and stuff, and. Someone was saying on that live chat, Hans, they were saying something like, a lot of kissing in those, and you need to, Gladiator 2 is terrifying in a whole different way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Gore's being tongue in cheek.
I think so.
Nothing new.
But yeah, all the hair and the close-ups of face, you have to be really good artists for those romance comics to depict all the various angles and planes of smooching. Ju-On the Grudge, there's something about the unrelenting aspect of those ghosts, because they don't usually, when you think of a ghost story, and I love ghost stories, and I'll talk about an M.R. James one later, but they have to stay at the house where they are, or the place where they haunt, but not always. And Ju-On follows you wherever the hell you go, and you're never safe. And it's either the creepy lady that does the killing, I guess. And the funny thing is that the one that killed the kid and the woman, if anyone knows this story, I guess it's this idea of domestic abuse that went really terrible. You never see, as far as I can recall, the male instigator of all this violence, but you do see that the kid is the harbinger, the kid that comes, and the girl, social worker comes in, opens the door, and then of the closet, and there's a little pale kid there goes, and then kind of hisses like a cat, and then it's the scary woman climbing down the stairs and their broken body that chases you forever. That's a scary thing. So
it is. I think in one scene there was a picture on the wall, and it might have had the man in it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He was beautiful.
Well, I think he is the instigator of it all, but I don't believe his ghost ever appears or anything. He created these evil entities of his family members that he brutalized and killed, I guess. So as far as I can tell, it doesn't go a long way to answer or explain anything. Yeah, Mark Morris, hello. Yeah, M.R. James is great.
So, all right, you're gonna be mad at me, but I didn't stick to one. I have 6 to show. So
okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's your live, your channel. Yeah, I know what you're up to.
Romance comics spread mononucleosis. Okay, I'm gonna say your name 5 times. And I'm gonna remember it. So the first is I'm gonna show off a movie that, as a kid, I was so scared. It's so silly. It's called The Screaming Skull. It is like the stupidest thing you'd ever see, but it gave me nightmares. I was screaming. I was like 3, maybe, when I saw it.
Yeah, and that's a little early.
That movie has never left me. But man, when I watched it later, I was like, "What the hell? This is so cheesy." And
Have you seen the Skull? I think it's the Amicus does their version, just called The Skull, with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. That's a pretty good one too.
Oh, that one a good one? No, I haven't seen that one. And then for my husband, he's got something similar. So there's a Spanish movie called Más Negro que la Noche, which means blacker than the night. And it's about 4 girls who are in like a boarding school. And there's like witches and all this stuff. And oh, wait, I have another picture.
Sounds like Suspiria.
Pretty much, yeah. And he said that really scared him as a kid. So
I can tell that poster is scary enough. Has he talked about the is it Coffin Joe? What's the one? At midnight I'll come for your soul or whatever. That series looks cool.
I actually reviewed that movie, and I think the follow-up, although there's like 3 or 4 of them, because someone from Brazil recommended that I watch them, and I did. And
that's right. They're Brazilian. You're right. They're Brazilian.
There's something else. They're very interesting, but they're so weird. And I mean, like, he's like a terrifying, like, weird cult serial killer. He's just weird, that character, Coffin Joe. All right, so I'm not finished. I think one of the most, I think the scariest, I can't find a picture though. Did I get a picture of it? Movie recently. I was actually thinking as we did this that we should have gone by decades, because it's so hard to pick one movie. So I'm going to say the scariest movie that I've seen recently is Hereditary. I think that movie gave me chills, and it's got so many different layers to it. It's something that you could watch a bunch of times, and you're going to find more in it, because there's actually more going on than on the surface. But when you watch it on the surface, it's just so creepy and gross, and the performances are amazing.
That's the guy who did Midsummer, right? He makes some creepy movies, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same director.
I'm not sure if it's Ari Aster, but I know. I think I was going to mention one of his other movies later. So another movie that I actually saw this when I was in Japan, and I think it's so amazing. This one made me feel uneasy for days after watching it, and that was Seven. Seven.
Seven is disturbing.
Sure. I think it's lost.
Yeah, Ari Aster did Hereditary.
Oh, that's good. I think it's lost its power because so many, people have
parodies.
Yeah, and he said yes, it's Ari Aster, and love The Screaming Skull. Okay,
old black and white movies are great. Well, and also when you're 3 years old, you any weird ass thing can scare you. Hey, Big Nasty.
And Temporal Bato, Village of the Damned. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I like that movie.
I
was the kind of kid that cried when the giant tarantula was killed in Tarantula. So, when Clint Eastwood napalms the tarantula, I was 5 and I started crying that they killed the spider. I didn't care about the humans.
I cried at the end of the giant roboto. What's his name? Flying off into space. I even made a short about that one.
Oh, the giant robot.
Yeah, where he goes flying into space and sacrifices himself. So another movie that I find pretty disturbing for a bunch of reasons is The Mist. I'm also going to by Stephen King. I just think that whole situation, there's more to it. I've actually put this in a couple of categories, so I'll talk about that one more later.
I have a character from that in one of my categories as a runner-up.
I'm wondering. I think I know which one. And
don't give it away now. I was just gonna say I prefer the novella's ending than I do the movie. '70s ending.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that because under short story, because I read the book, the short story, and I listened to that.
The audio is great.
Yeah, the audio was. So I was gonna mention that later too. And then the final one that I want to talk about is Invasion of the Body Snatcher, the 70s version.
Which one? The 70s version. Yeah.
And so I have
that is a good choice. That is
a picture of that. Because I did see that quite young, and it's this idea of you can never fall asleep. And I don't think I could do that. Like, I couldn't stay awake. And so I'd be a goner. I'd be one of the people.
Yeah. Same with Freddy, right? Yeah, we'd both be toast.
I wouldn't survive. Oh, wait.
No, that's a very, very effective remake. I love the original. And the Abel Ferrara one is okay, too, with that came in the 90s or something. But
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I think this is an example.
There's a Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig one too. It's a really kind of.
I saw that.
That's okay, but the 70s one is probably the scariest for sure.
Yeah, and even though it's dated, I think it's one of these movies where they outdo the original, and I think in many ways The Thing outdoes the original.
It does. I love the original, but it's a different movie completely.
Yeah, totally.
It's a Howard Hawks movie, really. Where the army is in trouble. But yeah, the Thing itself is the Carpenter one is much closer to the central idea. Okay, scariest book, short story, or comic. This one is very tough. This is the second one.
I have four.
Because I don't read. I don't read a lot of horror novels. Probably the very few horror novels. Oh, thanks, Gore. Very few horror novels that I've read. Hey, Steve. Steve's here. All right. Scared the living poop out of me. Yeah.
It is a creepy movie.
I'm guessing he's talking about the 70s one because I don't think Steve was around for the 50s one. Sorry, Steve. Joke. Anyway, because I'm sure I'm much older than you. But the originals, I'm with Mark. Yeah, they're much more intense, as befits the time, I guess. But I don't read a lot of horror novels. I've read a handful, especially Stephen King, and it's Stephen King who I'm going to go with, even though he's kind of everyone knows about him. But just the concept of this novel, and that's it, of course. Now, it is long, it's bloated, it's over, sorry, Steve. I knew you meant the 70s. I was just kidding you a little bit. But anyway, I'll have to choose it, I guess, because of the Stephen King books I've read. Some of his short stories, like The Raft, is scary. There are a lot of horror stories I've read, short stories that are great. But the thing about it, and this is why it'll play into the number four best monster book, is the central monster, Pennywise. He could take any form. And what monster could be more scary than a monster that can take any form of your fears? There's just nothing that can beat that, really. I mean, it can turn into anything, right? The one kid, Richie, is scared of the Wolfman, and it appears as the Wolfman. And I think it's Mike, the other kid, scared of the birds, and it's a giant bird. And so it's just Pennywise himself is scary.
Yeah. I just put him on the screen so we could beat him. But yeah, you can keep talking.
Oh, no, I was going to I want you to go soon. I just wanted to say that about Gore's point there. In different hands, Carpenter films would be at best be B movies. Yeah, and some of them still are, even with him directing. Like
I was just going to say that, but he elevates the B movie. He does.
Well, and also you got to give a lot of credit to his cinematographer, Dean Cundy, too, who his widescreen compositions are just phenomenal. That's partly what makes The Thing and Escape from New York and Halloween. Halloween's a great horror movie. I don't find. I mean, I know Jason is existential dread from Frankenstein, Steve. Yeah, I find serial killers, they're scary, of course, but anything that's human and can be killed, which I guess removes Michael Myers and Jason because they seemingly can't be killed. They got some kind of boogeyman vibes going on there. But a regular serial killer like the guy in Seven, he's really, what he does is really awful, but you can easily kill him, right? So, hey Donald, how are you doing? Glad you can make it. So I think I always prefer monsters, right? So actually,
I'm the opposite. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I think human monsters are so real that
that's true. They're the worst in real life, of course. But
yeah, because they are real. And
I just
so,
find them less interesting, I guess I should say.
yeah.
You should
Did
make
you
yourself
finish?
big because I'm done. So you should.
All right.
I don't have much to say
All
on
right.
that one.
So I have 4 to show, and the first one is going to be a kind of childhood favorite, and that is for scary book or short story, and it goes along with the theme that we just talked about, and that's going to be Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, because the evil in that is just hid in the everyday, right? And the ending just packs a wallop. And the first time you read this, if you don't know about it, it really does hit you, right? So
I read it in high school, and it's kind of like, what the hell did I just read? And what is the
I know, right? It's crazy. And so I'm going to go with for short story, The Lottery.
The Lottery is a great choice.
For another short story, I picked The Mist. I just think as a short story, that is just, it takes you someplace, and it's just crazy. And not only so, the beauty of The Mist is it has both types of horror. It's got that otherworldly, but then it's got the human, right? And I think
King loves to put in bullies and religious zealots in his fictions,
and
he wants to have double edge.
Really makes that story tick. And it's short, and so that
sorry, I have invasion of a key.
No problem. As for comic book, I'm going to put The Walking Dead, because I just think The Walking Dead was this perfect comic. It lasted so long. It spawned so many incarnations. Of course, before the TV show, I read the comics, and before I even saw Michonne on screen, I was rooting for her to show up. I have a picture of Michonne, but I guess I didn't port it over. That's too bad. But I just think it really, in many ways, it doesn't hold back as a comic book. It shows you the cruelty of humans, and what they can do to each other. And
what's the comic book again, David? Sorry, I missed it. Oh, yeah.
The Walking Dead is just, I think, it really, even though there's this outside dread, of this horror of the zombies, in many ways,
the humans
who are, and then they go through one, trial after another. When they meet one horrible human sadistic monster, they're gonna go and meet another one, and they've got to go through it all over again.
Just a little too much for me. It's just there's just a little too bleak. There's just not enough of any. I mean, every single human they're going to meet is a reprehensible scumbag, pretty much. I mean, it seems that's
you wonder how realistic.
Well, that's true.
All right, and I think that was all for that. Oh no, I wanted to talk about a silly book that had some horrific element in it that stuck with me. And even though it's a really silly book, it had a really cool idea, and that is Robopocalypse.
Come on now.
Now, I think the part where the humans are trapped in cars and they cannot get out, I found that horrifying.
I haven't read it, to be fair, so
Oh, okay. It's actually not bad, but basically the machines take over, and in the future, all the cars are mechanized, right? They control, like, everything is controlled by machine, and so they lock the doors. Yeesh. And they have this like bulletproof glass, and they just speed, and they're just going and going, and the people are in the cars pounding, and they can't get out, and they're trapped. And you just imagine their fate, right? They're all just they're gonna go until they die. Some of them would then drive off of cliffs. It was, to me, I felt that was really horrifying, even though
it's pretty horrifying. So is the book supposed to be kind of a satire, and it just has some?
No, it's supposed to be, like a horror novel, not really a horror novel, but like, an apocalypse kind of scenario where, humans have to, band together and fight against the machines kind of thing. I'm done, but let's go ahead and look at some of the comments. It's the ones you can't kill and the spiritual metaphor that really scares me. So check your Steve is on your side. Whatever, Steve. Okay, recently we watched Howling in America. They're both amazing movies that I saw as a kid. The Howling
in the same year they came out is unbelievable. But Jenny Agutter puts it over the top for sure. Can't say no to Jenny Agutter. I'm with you there.
And that scene where they're in the porno theater, I think, is masterfully shot. It really is scary.
Where
she's
where his
I think that's a great.
is that where his friend comes to visit him? This ghost.
This one is in The Howling.
Oh, you mean The Howling when she confronts? Yeah.
I think she's a journalist. I felt that scene was really well done,
and the ending too, where she turns on live on camera into.
I don't remember that actually. I haven't seen this since I was a
her
kid.
boyfriend, her husband, has to shoot her. Yeah, that's a great ending. But why I was confused is both movies have a scene in the porno theater. So.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So Gore is making reference to a book, a comic book called Crossed, and that is probably one of the most vile comics you're ever going to read. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody unless you are a true sadist. This is where humans.
What are you saying about Gore then?
I don't know about Gore, but he must be a misanthrope. So humans get a virus and it turns them into pure sadists who they immediately turn on their own family members, and they have to kill them slowly and violently, and there's rape involved, and it's really bleak. And of course,
nasty. I don't think I believe that.
How do you keep this up over 100 issues? You got to get more and more crazy. I actually haven't read Afterlife with
Archie. Comic book for serial killers, huh? Afterlife with Archie. I'm assuming that's not the same Archie that we think of when we
It is. They did an update where Jughead becomes a werewolf, and I have actually never read any of them. But
I wonder if that influenced that Riverdale series that was
most likely. Usually, zombies are the threat initially, and then the people become.
It's kind of a way to look at humans in a pressure cooker, I guess. Yeah.
Terry Moore's Rachel Rising, like an American Wolf, brilliantly integrated humor in a horror story. And I'm not a fan of humor and horror, by the way. I know a lot of people are.
Usually not. It has to be done really well, but it wasn't done just right in American Werewolf in London. There was a lot of pathos as well as occasional humor. Or Shaun of the Dead. It's tricky to do, though. Most of them fall on their face. I am not familiar with Rachel Rising. Is that a novel or a movie?
No, it's a comic series, and in fact, I have some of the single issues because they had beautiful covers. But I really do need. There's so many comics that I haven't read. I'm not even going to pretend. So Gore is a reader. I mean, he knows a lot about.
Well, that's what I like about a lot of the people in your corner of comic book tube. I guess that they read the comics. They're not just about putting them in a sack. And yes, I do like Clive Barker. Tim at Secret Fire Books was just talking recently about getting the Books of Blood, and I've read some of those. I really like the. I think the title, the movie adaptation was Lord of Illusions, but I think the title of the story is different. But it's got his occult detective, or he's not really a occult detective. He's a PI in L.A. named Harry Damore, but he gets involved with some of these cases, and that's a really cool story. So is the Body Politic. That's another one that came out around the same time as The Mist on audio, and it's fantastic, where people's body parts are rebelling against them. Yeah, 81. That's right. Not 83. 81. Yeah, they came out the same year. Senior year of high school. So Mark's just a little bit older than me.
5 years.
I came out. I graduated in 85, but I definitely remember both of those coming out in 81. That was the year of Raiders Lost Ark. One of my favorite
movies.
Mark's
grandpa now. Grandpa Mark.
Grandpa Mark. Well, good on you, Mark. I'm old enough to be a grandpa, but.
They could not do what they do in the comics in the movie. It would have to be X-rated for them.
I'm not a fan of the torture porn thing.
I hate it. I hate that genre.
I'm not into that at all. I don't mind gore, in the movie occasionally. I'm not really big on slasher movies anymore or anything. But his hair was perfect. Yeah, that's now I remember your joke from last time, Steve. So yeah, talking about Werewolves of London, right?
I'm actually going to be referencing not that song, but something like it later in the show.
It is on my Halloween playlist for sure.
But Sleepaway Camp and Creepshow 2 are my favorites. So a slasher and Creepshow 2, Creepshow
2 is pretty good. It has the raft, it has the wooden Indian, and it has the one where the woman runs into the homeless guy and he keeps following after her. And she can't get away from him. The raft adaptation is really good. And I like the wooden Indian one too, although it's not. Creepshow 1, of course, is always usually preferred by many fans, but I don't know Dope Comics' name either, but
Oh, his channel is awesome. He's like this. He's always screaming in the camera. It's hilarious. And he puts all these little clips that they just make.
Creep Show 2 is good. I haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, but that's the one where the guy kills him with shears or something, right? I think. Yeah. Thanks for the ride, lady. That's right, Chadwick. Yes, I remember that. It's great. Yeah, I like Creep Show 2.
I think it's your turn, right?
I think we're on. Are you done with your scary story? I could have. I mean, like you said, it.
I did Robopocalypse last, so I think you're up.
I have a whole bunch of short stories I could. There's one by David J. Scow, which is really creepy, about this weird cat creature that is creeping around this farmhouse with this young couple with their young daughter. Kind of. I guess it's Scow, David J. Scow. Anyway, that one is really nasty and creepy, but it's well done. I've read a lot of great ones over the years that way, but I just couldn't pick one out. So it has to be probably the one. And for best monster film, probably the scariest monster and one of the best realized is Alien, the original Alien. Now, my favorite of the series is Aliens. I like that movie more as a movie. Oh, there you go.
My Funkos.
But the way this alien is presented in the first movie, it's just an amazing piece of work. I mean, you really believe that's a real creature when you're watching.
That movie's better. Aliens is different. It's amazing.
Aliens is amazing. I wouldn't say. I think they're both amazing. But this one is creepy haunted house in space, and Aliens is, gung-ho military sci-fi mixed with some gross body horror stuff. But that creature is awesome. But as kind of favorite Universal monster movie is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I got the Blu-ray 3-disc set. You have these all in VHS, I would guess. But now not all of them are as good. The first one is far and away the best. But that monster suit still holds up. I mean, it's really amazingly done. Time. Those are probably my two. I mean, there's so many great movie monsters. I could pick a lot of vampires. For example, the Max Schreck's depiction in the Tobe Hooper Salem's Lot is pretty creepy. The Nosferatu looking thing. There's all sorts of the werewolves and both the Howling and Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in London are really good. Especially, there's just so many. The Things, all the versions of the Thing, creepy. But I'd go with the Alien.
I'm a huge fan of the movie Alien 3. I'm a huge David Fincher fan, and so I love Alien 3.
Just too many with the shaved heads. There, too many people looking the same. It's hard to tell them apart. But I have to disagree with them though. Aliens, because it's partly an action movie, is one of the reasons why I love it. But that we all have different tastes for sure.
So Alien 3 came out, I think near the tail end of the AIDS epidemic, and that if you look at Alien 3, it has a lot to say about that, and so there's a subtext there. And I think that's one of the reasons why that I really loved Alien 3.
I like Alien 4 too. Joss Whedon's script. Alien 4 is kind of poo-pooed, but this got some really cool stuff in it. And I love that underwater alien attack scene. That's pretty, and it's got a really interesting, because that's the one done by, is it Genet, the French guy who did Delicatessen and Children of, what is it?
That was my least favorite, I think.
It has Ron Perlman. It's got this really weird group of actors from all over the world, and it has a unique feel. I like that one. But it's the first two are, in my opinion, way up here, and then Alien 3 and then Alien 4 like that. So, and let's don't even talk about the recent sequels that were, or prequels.
They're good. I don't know why you wouldn't want to talk about them. I enjoyed them all. Mark Morris is flexing.
Yeah, that's a flex. He's got Ben. Is it Ben Chapman, who was the creature on land, and Rico Browning, who was the creature underwater, who's about half the size of Ben Chapman. Yeah, and Julie, the beautiful, beautiful Julie Adams, stunning. Company of Wolves. Yeah, no, that's one I've not seen. That's a Neil Jordan movie. I've known about it
a long time ago. Neil Jordan is also a great director.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Crying Game was amazing.
Mm.
Space No Can Hear You Scream. Creature poster autographed by Chapman and Julia Adams. Yeah. Yeah, she only passed away a little while ago. I think is Raku Browning still alive, or did he pass also? I think he did pass a year or two ago. Yeah, but that guy, Raku Browning, was great. He was in the Sea Hunt TV series, mostly taking the place of Lloyd Bridges in a lot of shots. He helped orchestrate the awesome underwater fight in the Bond movie Thunderball. So
Interesting.
that guy got around.
Well, he had a career, right? He had to keep going. So for Monster, I have the movie is not very good, but I think the Blob as a monster is really scary. I mean, you go up, you don't even realize it. Oh, what's this? And boom, you're enveloped.
The guy with it on his hand. The old man.
And it's like, yeah.
You saw the sequel, right? Did we talk about the sequel? The 80s sequel
from the 80s. Yeah, I saw that at the theater, and that one was. Yeah, that one.
It's actually a far superior movie than the original, but I like the original. Original's fun, but the monster is great. That's a great idea for
the original. Has so much filler. It's hilarious.
Well, and it's also hilarious to see 35-year-old Steve McQueen playing a teenager, but he's good as usual. But that's one of those interesting kind of independently made movies from the 50s. They would do these regional movies that would get national releases and things, and it has this weird vibe because it was financed by this church organization or something in this town. So it's an odd movie that they would have put together, but that's cool. You collect Criterion DVDs. Criterion did a really nice DVD.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I need to get it. So another one that I picked, a recent movie, I thought this movie was phenomenal, and that is Nope. The monster.
This looked interesting. Yeah, the alien thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. Then I'm not gonna say anything about it. This movie is presented as something and becomes something else, and I love movies like that. And I'm not gonna say anything more about it.
That's a Jordan Peele one, right?
Yeah, all his movies have been phenomenal, and this one has so much in it. And I'm also going to mention this in another segment, so there will be a slight spoiler in another segment.
I need to check that out because I was fascinated by the concept of this brother and sister who are still running their father's Hollywood horse supplying ranch or something, and then they get this weird invasion. It sounds cool.
Phenomenal. And Nope isn't good. It's phenomenal. Tempo Roboto, you need to change your comment. Edit that.
Well, what's the other one that not his first one that was that got him a lot of notoriety.
Get Out, and
the second one wasn't
Get Out.
No, I'm talking about the one where the doppelgangers come up from underground. Us. That's right. Yeah,
that's a great movie. Yeah. So Chadwick says Nope is one of his favorite movies. And what is this one? Lol. He's like, no, I'm not changing it. Us. There you go. He's
Us. Yeah, you got it. You remembered it.
So they're all trying to jog our brains.
But you did it on your own. I'm impressed.
Yeah, you already mentioned Alien, so I'm not going to dwell on that. I think the Xenomorph is phenomenal. But I have another movie that I know it's not a very awesome movie, but for some reason it clicked with me. There's always these movies that other people don't really love, but for some reason you do. I recognize it's not a superior movie. But 30 Days of Night,
that's what matters.
Just had this sense of dread, and the vampires in them are the way vampires should be.
Which movie? Sorry, I missed it, David.
30 Days of Night.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually. That's based off a comic, isn't it?
Yeah. So those vampires are like they're hunters, and they play with humans. And they're sadistic and they're cruel. And
they're very well depicted. And you got like that ending where he turns into one to fight him, right?
Well, don't give away the ending if people haven't seen it.
Sorry. I'm assuming everyone who's watching knows these.
We're talking about so many different movies, so how could you have seen everything? So don't do spoilers. I hate spoilers myself. 30 Days of Night is clever. Erotic horror, of course you do, Gore. He likes The Hunger, Possession with Sam Neill and Isabella Adjani. The Cat People remake with Natasha Kinski. Well, that says something about Gore too.
Yeah,
He
no, those
loves.
are all interesting movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, they are.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
I
put him
didn't
on
mean
my
to
list
steal your
of
thunder on
favorites.
that, but no, I think Danny Huston, that's where I first saw that actor, John Huston, the director's son, who plays the lead vampire in 30 Days of Night. He is phenomenal in that. He's so scary.
Oh
Are you
yeah.
finished already? I didn't know you had finished. Oh, okay.
I went over four movies.
Oh, sorry, Gore, if I spoiled things. I'll try not to do that in the future. Bad, Jeff. Bad. Okay.
Yes, bad Jeff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be lame I won't be up here much because the best horror monster in the book, again, I'm going to go with It from Stephen King's It, Pennywise, because you just can't really top a being that can turn into anyone's worst fears individually. So, and again, It is too long. It has a really problematic these days passage. It was problematic at the time. I remember reading it going, what the hell is going on with this? It has I kind of see what Stephen King's going for. And I think you know what I'm talking about, David, right?
No, you mean kids making out?
And it was much more than making out.
Oh, okay. I
There's a scene where when the kids, they're like, I guess supposed to be 13 or something, 12. There's one of them is a girl, and there's certain sexual thing that happens to help unite them to fight it.
I do remember that. Yeah,
it's handled as about as well as you could handle that kind of scene. And I know what Stephen King was trying to do, but it's leaves a bad taste in the mouth for sure.
Yeah,
it's icky. But and the kids portion of that story is always the best. The adult story can't hold a candle to the kids side, but that's one thing that Stephen King can do really well is capture that, because he sets it in the time when he was a kid, and he can capture the sense of what it was like to be a kid in the late 50s, early 60s. And yeah, It, the Terror from Beyond Space, the original Alien, and then I think the makers, and then also A.E. Van Voogt's estate, or maybe himself, sued Alien, I think, pretty much for that, because it took one of his concepts from the Voyage of the Space Beagle, I think, of this monster they pick up. But you know, everyone's inspired by other things, and they're all different enough. I think, Harlan Ellison was lawsuit happy himself, so and maybe a little too much. So, but anyway, that's all I have is It. Especially, I like the TV movie and Tim Curry as Pennywise, but the Bill Skarsgård who plays Pennywise the clown in the recent films is way scarier. He is really, really freaking scary. So that's so in the book, I would say that's probably the coolest monster I can think of off the top of my head. Again, I've read so many monster stories. There's some really good ones, of course, but I can't pick out any at the moment that would be my top. So you should go.
A very scary vampire, right? In Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, you could say Dracula. You could say.
No, I mean Bill Skarsgård played.
Oh, Skarsgård. Oh, in the newer Nosferatu. Oh, yeah. Well, he would be great. Yeah, he's a talented. He's a talented actor, obviously.
Yeah, he was very scary.
There's one scene in the It movies where he's Pennywise and he goes at the screen, and you're just about.
Yeah. I have for the best monster. I think that's what we're on from book short.
Yeah, best monster book or story.
I just picked one, and I picked this for longevity because I'm picking the Headless Horseman. I think
that's a good choice.
I visited the cemetery and the supposed bridge where it happened, and cool. It's just this legend that has grown in our culture, especially because of the Disney movie, right? And I mean, it's always there, and of course, there's a Tim Burton movie, and it's a great old movie's great. Lost in the Woods kind of, or whatever kind of spooky legend. So I picked that because of its longevity.
Reading the Irving story in school, watching the Disney version in class, all that stuff. It's that's a good choice. And the way they depict it, especially in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow movie, is very frightening. Very well done.
Yeah,
Christopher Walken before his head comes back. Best human monster. Now, there's tons of these we could choose. You could choose Henry, sort of a serial killer, but I went with three. I came up with three. So, of course, Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter. He's amazing.
Oh my gosh! What are you doing?
I'm staging you? I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I'll let you talk more about him in detail. And then Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastards, Christoph Waltz playing.
Oh, that's a Nazi.
It's not a horror movie per se, but he is a monster. Yet he's so charming too. He's an amazing performance. Just he deserved the Oscar for that for sure, just as Anthony Hopkins did for Silence of the Lambs. And the other one dovetails into, and maybe you're going to mention her too, in The Mist, Mrs. Carmody.
She was my number one.
Is a really nasty piece of work. There's so many of them. There's the mother in Like Water for Chocolate. She's a monster.
Or the mother in Carrie.
Yes, mother in Carrie. Piper Laurie. The mother, Diana Rigg, the great Mrs. Peel. Diana Rigg as an older lady playing the homicidal mother in a BBC miniseries, or maybe it was an ITV miniseries called Mother Love. We had David McCallum as her ex-husband, and she's trying to murder all these different people. She's no one's good enough for her son. She's really good. There's lots of
Die, my darling.
Die, my darling. Joan Crawford, or Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. There's it's funny how many of them are women. Or is that saying something? I don't know.
The terror of the in-law.
Yes, the mother-in-law. Yeah, I guess the girl in The Bad Seed, the little girl. She's pretty creepy.
Yeah,
I guess there's too many human monsters to count, frankly. So.
Right.
But Mrs. Carmody and Hans Landa and Hannibal Lecter, I guess, are the ones that came to mind for me for this.
Well, when you said the Hans, what's his name? Landa?
Hans Landa is the character name. The actor is Christoph Waltz.
I know. Yeah, I know him. So I was going to say that a comparable one would be from Schindler's List. What's his name?
Yes, Ralph Fiennes playing. I forgot the character's name. Yeah, he is. That's a great choice. I didn't think about him. He's perfect.
He only
just make him just human enough to be realistic, but he's such a monster.
Yeah. All right. So for best human in a book, this book is by Patrick McGrath. It's called Spider. This is a book that I read a long time ago, and it always stuck with me. He's a human character that is, just reprehensible. He's dirty. He's gross. He's doing all of these gross things. And his nickname is Spider. You could just imagine. But anyways,
sounds like Bad Ronald.
Yeah,
book.
And so that's one that I would pick from a book. From a movie, I'm looking at my another book actually is The Collector from John Fowles. Yeah. So
John Fowles,
Fowles. Look at this gorgeous cover art. If I can get it.
That's a disturbing movie. I've only seen the movie adaptation, not the.
I've done both, and I think Gore might like that. Let me get it up in there, Gore, because he likes torture porn. Yeah, he likes torture porn. And then another one that I picked, which you already said, was Miss Carmody from The Mist.
That's funny that we both thought of her though, because King has a lot of human villains in every book. He comes up with one, and usually they're religious zealots, but particularly good. Yeah, I was wondering about the comments in this one. Particularly good in The Mist, I thought. Yeah, the mother of James Dean is pretty awful. Yeah.
Country for Old Men. Oh, good. So sociopaths, right?
That's the killer, right? Yeah.
Good evening, gang. Comic Crack. Hey.
Comic Crack.
All right. So
another guy I don't know, but I'm going to check him out. Cool.
Oh, he's awesome. He listens to noise music. And I was very curious, so I tried it, and I was like, huh.
It's noise.
It's noise.
Well, that's cool that there's things out there for interest for everybody. Seems like. So.
Yeah.
I have one of my best friends who's since passed was a big fan of death metal. So Cancer and Carcass and
all of those.
That was his relaxation music. So there you go. So.
Comic Crack.
Were you finished?
Really loves indie comics, and I know Gore knows a lot of what Comic Crack knows because they're both heavy into comics. Anyways, what's our next category?
Best animal attack. I had originally put this in two separate categories, but I'm just going to join a movie, book, short story. So I have several of these. I love, as you can tell, when I got the Croc Attack, and I have the I watched them Eat Me Alive thing. I love animal attack things. There's a bunch of good ones. The Pack is good. Day of the Animals and Grizzly and all that. But the noise genre is music covers a lot. I'm sure it does. Yeah, I'm ignorant of it. So
all noise me.
So for film, there are a lot of good animal attack films, but you can't beat the granddaddy of them all, Jaws. Jaws is just an amazing movie. I love several of Steven Spielberg's early movies. I'm not a hugest fan of his latest stuff, but although it's well made. But this movie is by far his best made movie. Best movie, I think. It's amazing piece of work. It's part adventure movie. It's not really horror, I guess, although it has horrific elements. But the realization of the shark attacks is just amazing, considering the problems they had with that with Bruce. Even an older movie like The Killer Shrews, where they put a shrew costumes on top of dogs and had them, chasing people around, but that was pretty good. There's so many good animal attack movies, but as far as stories go, there's quite a few. I know in the last week's live stream with Paul, people were singing the praises of Cujo, but I reviewed this earlier back in Horror Mayhem. Cujo.
That's me next, Cujo.
Okay. I was just going to say, in this collection, it's a little beat up on the dust jacket, but Devils and Demons, Marvin Kaye always puts out good collections. And this is a story with a lot of, possession stories and other things. But the story I want to talk about is by a guy named Henry Kuttner. He married C.L. Moore, who wrote the Northwest Smith and Jarrell of Jory stories for Weird Tales. Great author. And Henry Kuttner wrote this story. It was his first publication in the Weird Tales magazine, The Graveyard Rats. And it is creepy. It's about a guy who runs this graveyard in New England somewhere, and it's on a dark, rainy, stormy night. And he robs the corpses of their jewelry and other things in the coffin. But he's annoyed because recently these giant rats, and seemingly getting bigger and bigger, almost the size of dogs, mid-sized dogs, are getting into the bodies and dragging them away before he can get in there and get his spoils. And then he goes down in these tunnels after them when they're taking away a guy who has this really expensive diamond stick pin or something. And that is a short, sharp, nasty story published in the 30s, maybe? I'm trying to think when that was first. The Graveyard Rats. When was that published? 1936.
Wow. That's
in Weird Tales.
To hear about.
It's a fantastic story. I really recommend it.
Because that's going to, what do you call, segue into mine? Because yours is more original. As a kid, I read The Night Shift, right? The Stephen King.
Yes.
And there's a graveyard shift story.
Yeah, the graveyard shift.
And they just encounter more and more rats, bigger and bigger. It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, it is kind of the same thing. Although, and there's not just rats. When he gets in the graveyard rats, he meets something else too, which is really creepy. So
yeah,
that might have been Stephen King's homage to that story. For all I know.
Then I had Cujo, which you went ahead and denigrated, but I love Cujo.
I'm sure it's very well done. I just, Saint Bernard, whatever.
And then
I'm in the minority.
Film. It's called White God, and this is a film about dogs, and they're abused and they rebel, and it's a great movie. And so
I haven't heard of that one.
It's called White God, and you can see the dogs. And I was cheering because the humans deserved what they got, and I was happy that they got it.
Well, I like those kind of horror movies.
I was cheering for the dogs.
That sounds like another movie called Frogs from the 70s. Have you seen this one? It has Sam Elliott and Ray Milland, although Ray Milland got so pissed off at the way things were going that he walked off set and they had to kind of cobble together his death scene. But Frogs is fun because it's frogs, snakes, snapping turtles, all kinds of spiders, any kind of animal is rebelling on this plantation with all these guests there. And yeah, you mentioned White God. There's another movie called White Dog, which I haven't seen, but it sounds really interesting. It's a dog. Someone has a dog that was trained, like a pit bull, that was trained to hate black people. And Paul Winfield is this black kind of dog handler, and he's determined to try to change its mind or attitude. Oh, see you, Captain Strangelove.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll check out your channel later. So yeah, but White God I haven't heard of. That's interesting. Yeah, The Pack is good too with Joe Don Baker back in the 70s, where it's people in a small coastal village in Oregon or Washington maybe, or being all of a sudden their dogs turning on them.
Wow. All right. So I think you're up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, best ghost story. Number 7. My son's on the rampage. You might try to get in here.
If you need to take a break and help with your son, don't hesitate. It's okay.
Thanks. Well, I know you could carry it, no problem. I might have to do that at one point. Long Weekend. I haven't seen this. I've heard so much good things about this Australian movie. This couple that are fighting each other, and it's almost like the animals that are attacking them are kind of feeding off of their dysfunction. Yeah, the Spanish movie is what's it called? Dang it. It's very famous, where they go and the kids are killers. I should know this. It's a very famous movie. I can't remember.
I know which one you mean. I know
from the 70s, Italian movie, I think. Or you said Spanish. It's probably Spanish. Yeah. Best ghost story. So many stories to name. So when I get to the actual stories, I'll just pick one. But there's a ton of them, and a lot of good movies as well. Ghost stories are hard to do properly without being goofy, but I tend to like almost all of them. Like you mentioned the others last week. I mentioned The Woman in Black. That's extremely effective. Who Can Kill a Child? That's what it is. Okay, thank you. Yeah. And I guess they find out that those 2 adults kill children if they have to get out of there. But Island of the Damned, yeah, is a less, I guess, exploitative title, but plenty exploitative still. I am going to talk about The Legend of Hell House. Now, I don't have my DVD case with me right now, but it's not the Hill House one, based off the Shirley Jackson one. This is one with Roddy McDowall and who are the other ones in that? Gail Honeycutt's in it. It's about a house in England, and then one guy's a scientist who wants to study the house, and he brings his wife, who's Gail Honeycutt, and then 2 mediums, and Roddy McDowall's one of the mediums. And this house is famous for this weird, creepy owner that used to do weird satanic rites and things, and things start happening in the house, and it's pretty great. It's really, really creepy. It's from the early 70s. You've probably seen it, Legend of Hell House. It's based off I think it's a Richard Matheson script. Pamela Franklin, thank you. That's it. Pamela Franklin's in that too. And Clive Revell, that's right. Yeah, Clive Revell is the parapsychologist. I don't know what exactly he is. It's been a while since I've seen it, but he has his computers in there, and he's going to try to find out what's actually in the house. And he brings his beautiful wife, Gail Honeycutt, there, which is a mistake. And Roddy McDowall is the guy who had been there before and had some kind of bad experience and really didn't want to go back, but the money was enough. John Hoff, that's right. Yeah, Matheson wrote it. Thanks, Chadwick. You know your stuff. That's a terrific movie. Yeah, John Hoff did a lot of cool movies and TV episodes in Britain. And another one, in case people think I never watch any more slightly newer films, one from 2011 called The Awakening. And I don't remember who stars in that. It's about a woman who's a debunker, a psychic debunker. And she's called to this boys' school, which is being haunted by a former student, a pupil. And she is investigating that. And that's very well done. It's called The Awakening. I'm sorry, I don't have a DVD case or anything. I don't own that one, but I should. It's very good. As far as stories go, where did I put my... M.R. James. I'm a massive fan of Victorian ghost stories. I'm reading Yeah, this is a Penguin collected one. I have a couple of Dover editions that are just his individual volumes, Ghost Stories of an Antiquary and more Ghost Stories of an Antiquary. Just quiet, but so well realized horror. The one I am picking out here, and it had a really good, fairly recent BBC Ghost Stories for Christmas adaptation, although it changed the ending. The ending of the story is different, but it's the Mezzotint. Have you read this one?
I may have. I read all the stories in the 2 collections, which I also brought them to share. I have that one.
Oh, that's a better cover. I like that cover.
And this is the other one. It's 2 volumes of his stories. So if it was in here, I read them. I don't think I remember all of them, but I did read.
This is the complete. So those look as thick as this for 2 volumes. That's interesting. Maybe there's a lot of extra material.
Yeah, I mean, if you put them all together, I'm sure they can fit 1 volume, because there's a lot of notes at the end. Like,
yeah, this one doesn't have much of those, but the I think the mezzotint's in the very first collection, so you probably read it. What it is as usual, it's a there's a scholar and a guy, an antiquarian or something, and this guy collects. He buys this painting, and the painting depicts this kind of estate house on a moonlit night, and he's in his chambers because, like M.R. James, he was a single guy living in Oxford or Cambridge or something, and he starts to notice the pictures changing day by day, overnight, and he sees a weird figure coming out of the woods and creeping towards the house slowly across the lawn. And then the next night, it's another farther along, and then he finds out the history of this house. He gets so intrigued and disturbed, of course, but he goes and investigates some of the background, and it's really chilling stuff. Almost all of his stories are great. The ash tree, which you mentioned, with the tree full of the spiders, is great.
I really enjoyed all the stories. And then Libro Paradiso, who is Gore Vidal, he just jumps on with 2 channels.
Oh,
so he doesn't.
Henry James, Turn of the Screw. Yeah. Turn of the Screw was made to a wonderful film with Deborah Carr called The Innocents. Yeah. Edith Wharton. Yeah. So many people wrote great ghost stories. E.F. Benson is a really good one. This British Library Tales of the Weird. Have you gotten any of those collections? They're amazing. That they not all of them are equal, but they have tons and tons of these books, and they take all these stories from Victorian periodicals and stuff. And yeah, Blackwood is great. And they put out this occult detective edition called The Ghost Slayers. And that's really, there you go. Yeah, Ancient Sorcery.
And like all these ghost story books from Penguin, but everybody's mentioning them, so I'm just throwing them up.
I got to get that Blackwood Penguin one. I have a bunch of Blackwood collections, but they're all buried back.
Whoever that is, it's so awesome.
Have you read that story, Ancient Sorceries? That's one of his John Silence stories. And
I've only read this one. I've only read about half. So
I've read quite a bit though.
Yeah,
I need to track that one down because I need some Blackwood here before I can get back and pull my
Ancient
various collections.
Yeah, I read that one.
My storage. Yeah. Yeah, so many cool old ghost stories, and my favorite blend of or type of horror is the older, from Victorian era maybe up, or even before, up through the kind of weird tales into the 50s or 60s, kind of classic weird horror tale short stories. Those are my preference when I read horror these days.
All right. So when you were talking, you reminded me of a Spanish movie that I thought was so well done, and the people in the audience can help. It was about they're in I think a school or boarding school, and the mother
orphanage.
I think it's called Orphanage. Yeah. Does he say toca la pared?
Yeah. That's the Orphanage.
Really
that is very good. Yeah, I think that was a Del Toro production or something.
Yeah, that was such a great movie. But anyways, what I have on my list is, again, I mentioned The Others the other day, and I think The Others
is very good.
A beautiful movie, and it does something at the end, right? You think it's one thing, and then it has a twist for you. So I actually, hold on, I have a picture of The Others, and since this is kind of cool because it's a drawing of it.
Yeah, an actual painting. That's pretty good. Yeah.
And then, of course, the biggie is I think this is a brilliant movie, and that's Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Again. And those movies actually have a lot in common, to be honest. And another one that
Gore is the only one watching us right now. Maybe, I don't know. He's the only one commenting anyway.
Oh yeah, Inspired Cat People. That's interesting. And then I picked an Edith Wharton story as one of my ghost stories because it's one of my it's a friend's favorite. She really likes it, and so it's unfortunately it's not in this book, but it's called Kerfuffle or Kerfall, Kerfuffle,
Oh,
and
careful.
it's about a woman. I'll tell you just the beginning about a woman going to an old estate, and she's being followed by this pack of dogs. That's all I'm going to say. If
Hmm.
you're interested, you should read it. It is a great story, and so that's my tip of the hat to my friend Judy in Iowa.
Yeah, well, yeah, so many. I mean, a lot of mainstream authors wrote ghost stories as well because it was definitely a thing to do there in the 20s and 30s. But yeah, the kids are suspect. Yeah, there's definitely something sinister about the boy. That comes across very well in the movie The Innocents. That's for sure.
All right,
Yeah, those are some great choices. Okay, well, let's
we're
talk
up to the
about.
next couple because I didn't really have anything to say about these, and
Okay,
so I'm just going to let you go through them.
well, I'm going to have to go and pick something up off the shelf for one of them, probably.
That's
But
okay. Okay.
I didn't bring it over ahead of time like I should have. But oh, and I moved from that too. Dang it. Okay.
You mean you
All
had
right.
40 things to bring and you forgot one of them? How dare you?
Well, talking about the next one was best horror magazine or horror adjacent horror related magazine, and there are many, of course, you could talk about. But I want to talk about Video Watchdog, Tim Lucas's Video Watchdog. Now, Tim Lucas wrote a great book about Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark. That might be one of my votes for the next category. But he ran this magazine out of his house. His wife sadly passed away, Donna Lucas, lovely lady. She was the designer, and they went on and on. I just pulled a bunch out. I have almost the whole run before they closed it down.
Wow, look
Um,
at you.
and they covered science fiction, and they covered Tarzan movies and Charlie Chan movies and stuff, but they predominantly were a horror and specializing in independent horror. And for a long time they were just black and white inside, but as they went along and got like this one's about there's the Zanti Misfits from the Outer Limits. David J. Scow wrote the Outer Limits companion, contributed there. Rondo Hatton and Jeremy Brett, Sherlock Holmes. But as they went on, they got into color photos. Sean, sorry, let me
Don't
deal
worry.
with my son.
We can end at any time if you need.
No, it's okay. He usually plays upstairs on the weekend mornings in his room, and he sees that I'm in here and he wants to smash the door open and get in. Talked about Tarzan, but also
look at that
films.
picture on the back. Wow.
Yeah, and it's called the Video Watchdog because it kind of started going over video VHS tapes, what was cut out of a movie or not. That's the Watchdog part. And then they got into laser discs, of course, and DVDs and eventually Blu-rays, I think towards the tail end of the magazine. This guy did The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, if you're Larry Blairmeyer.
Look at those backs. I love the backs.
Yeah, and they have the number and then some of the stuff they cover. These were on newsstands when they came out. Used to be able to go to Barnes and Noble and buy them, right? And they're nice glossy magazines. There's Batman on the back there. Asia Argento.
Wow.
And they had editorials, and they would talk about the adventures of Superman. So there wasn't just horror, of course, but that's right. But it was predominantly horror. They covered a lot of Italian and Spanish and Japanese horror, and The Descent, of course, right?
I like that
Ultraman.
Movie. Oh, I like that back. The backs are better than the fronts. Look at that.
Well, some of them were painted, right? They had an artist that would paint those. There's some, I think.
How long did it run? Can you say?
I have to check on that one. They started in the 80s.
10 years?
Oh, no. Almost 20 or more than 20.
About 20 years then.
Wild Wild West, when that was coming out. And then they have this wonderful reproduction of a Godzilla poster.
How cool.
And maybe some kind of weird Jess Franco or some kind of, I forgot what this is from.
That looks like one of my old boyfriends. Charlie.
And scary kid stuff. Good old
Chadwick said
Tor.
one of his best friends wrote for that magazine for years.
Was it John Charles?
He wants a name. Chadwick.
Yeah, I'd like to know because I know some of the regular. Yeah, no. Yeah, that might have been Paul Nash. I don't know. And I forgot what this is from. But they cover Ingmar Bergman, Black Christmas, Blind Man, Cast d'Or, Dead Ringer, Hammer Noir, The Hitcher, Inland Empire, My Young Auntie, Trog, Edgar Wallace Krimis, right? So they just cover all kinds of
anything being released on video, most likely.
Yeah. Pan's Labyrinth.
That's a great movie.
And there's a lovely picture in the back for those of us of a certain persuasion anyway. And is this Videodrome? I'm not sure what this is. It's something weird anyway. So
yeah. Just
a few more. I have, like I said, a couple hundred of these. Shane Dallman, right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, he did. And they're really nice, slick. They're digest-sized magazines. That's from the Robert Rodriguez part of Grindhouse. What was it? The zombie one or whatever.
That was a great movie too. Wow, that's beautiful.
So, they do DVD review. They would do like capsule reviews. They would do interviews, in-depth. Mako Kaji, Lady Snowblood.
Yep.
This looks signed by Hazel Court there. Yeah, so from her days, I think this is from one of the Roger Corman Poe cycle with Vincent Price. This Charles B. Griffith guy, the Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Some people say I look a little like Thomas Hayden Church, but speaking of body snatchers, they reviewed the Nicole Kidman body snatchers in this one. There was a picture of her I just saw, but anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that movie actually.
That's from Serenity. You recognize River after she's killed all the Reavers at the end there. Some really interesting,
It's a beautiful magazine.
Stardust. I think that's also from Stardust. This says, have you ever seen this Bigfoot monster movie, Abominable? He's got the googly-eyed Bigfoot that kills a bunch of sorority girls or whatever in the camping in the mountains. That's a fun movie. This kind of agoraphobic writer has to go out and try to defeat it. Donnie Darko and The Mummy. So they covered mainstream stuff as well. I just got a couple more. Tim Lucas loves Jess Franco for some reason. I can never get into his movies, but he has an appreciation for Andy Milligan and all kinds of people. Speaking of the lovely Julie Adams from Creature, there she is in her white one piece. Love that swimming scene. Lex Barker is Tarzan. Aging Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford still cool. There's Lex Barker and his Jane, right? So they didn't just cover horror, but that's why I said kind of horror adjacent. I know there's Fangoria and a lot of other things that real horror hounds like. Gorehound or something, Gorezine. There's a lot of different magazines, but that's the one I had there. Did you want to show some magazines?
I didn't bring any.
Okay.
I told you this one. 8, 9, and 10 are all you.
Okay. As far as best nonfiction book or documentary, I have a few things. Yeah, Andy Milligan is the very definition of acquired taste. Yes. The articles were interesting in Video Watchdog. I'm not interested in seeing any of those movies. I don't have it here with me. It's buried back in my storage. But if you can see this is the Penguin Encyclopedia of Horror and the Supernatural. It's about 500 plus pages. It's got little articles by famous horror writers about horror topics and authors. It's mostly focusing on 19th and 20th century writers, and it's wonderful. I need to bring it back with me. It's very heavy, which is why I haven't done that. Speaking of very heavy, and I had it pay a lot to have it shipped to me. I'll be right back. I did a video on this already, but see if I can pull it out here. It is massive.
I'll be right back.
Where I gotta even find where it is. Oh, it's right behind me. Huh. Okay, but it weighs, I think, 14 pounds. So it's this same guy who did Video Watchdog. His wife designed this. His late wife, just beautifully designed. I showed it off in a flip through, but it's just.
It is huge.
It's a beautiful book, right? And it's all about Mario Bava, who was this Italian filmmaker, but it's not just about him. This covers the entire Italian film industry's, beginnings, and it's just whoa.
Be careful.
I can't even put it this way, right?
Look at that beautiful picture. Yeah.
So anyone interested, please check out my earlier flip through video where I put it down and shot from below. It wasn't, ideal, but it was a pretty good one. And the author, Tim Lucas, who's active on Facebook and stuff, still. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? Mark Richardson's here. Thanks for stopping in. So this Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark, is an amazing book, but it's going for around $1,000 right now. So it's.
Dang, sell that. Sell it.
Yeah, I could sell it, but it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to keep it because it's. I mean, it's not just pictorially beautiful. It's really well written, and it's super exhaustively researched. Yeah, Barbara Steele from Black Sunday. Yeah, Son of Monster Palooza. Yeah, I did about a 30-minute flip through, and I looked through almost every page of this thing. It was one of my earlier videos, and it's a gorgeous book. And all of this was designed by one woman, his wife, at his home, right? So
Lisa and the Devil.
Because she designed all the magazine layout too, so she had a lot of experience in that. And even if you're not a huge Bava fan, it's really worth checking out. Maybe someone's library might have a reference copy, but I know on the secondhand market and eBay and Amazon Marketplace, they're at least $1,000, most of them.
Dang.
So yeah,
$100 page.
Yeah. Well, I think I got it fairly early on, and I paid probably 100 and 150, 160, I think, to have it, including. And I'm sure that might include shipping, or maybe not. It was a lot, but an A24 movie. You have to remind me, Chadwick. What's A24? Is that a production line or company?
They're the ones that are doing all of the Ari Aster films and all the recent kind of weird and horror movies. And almost all of them are worth watching or too great. If you get an A24 movie, you're in for a good movie, minimum. So that is a company that you should look out for. They're great.
Okay, I'll keep a lookout for them. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, as far as, because there's a lot of good documentaries, but the documentary on The Thing Blu-ray, which I couldn't find on my shelf. I need to reorganize my Blu-ray shelf, but I do have it here. It's like a almost 2-hour documentary, and they go exhaustively through talking to a lot of the cast, and of course Carpenter and Kurt Russell and Rob Bottin, the special effects maestro that did the monster effects for that. And it's a really good documentary, and commentary track with Carpenter and Kurt Russell is hilarious. It's also well worth a listen. So
I love
that's a packed Blu-ray. And I'm sure there's been subsequent versions, but yeah, that documentary is about as good as it gets for a making of a horror film documentary.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, good. All right, so
I guess briefly, if you want to do 10 scariest thing you've ever experienced, and you were the one who came up with that idea in the first place, but you didn't have anything for it.
Not really. I couldn't think of anything. What do you want to say?
Mine was my waiting in the waiting room while my son had his open heart surgery at 1.5 years old. That was scary.
Of course, that would be scary. Horrible.
Yeah, that was a dark time. Although he came out of it well, but 51 days in the hospital afterwards, because in Japan they keep them long time. He could have come home probably. He had a few complications like a hematoma and a few things afterwards but they keep him in a long time, and it was really we had to go out to the hospital across town every day for 51 days. I think there was one day I didn't go, and one day I went and my wife didn't go, but otherwise we were there every day.
Wow.
And but yeah, that 5.5 hours of him on the circulation machine while they fixed his heart and stitched him back up. They did an incredible job, but that's the scariest thing I've ever experienced. So, but anyway, moving on. Let's move to you for the best spooky or Halloween song.
I picked two things.
Or soundtrack. We can join these together just to say a bunch of them.
I picked one song, and I did pick.
Want to make yourself big?
I could just talk about it.
Okay.
I did pick Warren Zevon, but not Werewolves of London.
Oh, he has another one.
Oh, I'm a Warren Zevon fan, so I think he was a one-hit wonder, but a lot of people recorded his songs. Like he was a good songwriter, but I think he only had one hit. But I was actually a fan of his, and I don't know if it's on the same album. I think it is, but there's a song called, like, the album is called Excitable Boy, and the song Excitable Boy is about someone who is deranged. And for example, like one of the lyrics is, he raped her, he killed her, and then he took her home because he took a girl out on a date. And I mean, it's very dark lyrics, but throughout the whole song, he's getting worse and worse, and they're saying the things that he's doing. And then finally he gets put into an institution. It's a very dark song. And
it sounds like it.
I'm going to pick that one as a song. And then when I was young, I had the Shining soundtrack, and I would put it on and I would play it in the dark, and I had to stop doing that because it was really creepy music. And
that's a creepy movie.
Yeah, but the music is very dark.
Yeah, very dark and atmospheric. Yeah, no, I recall that. I didn't see The Shining till about 10, 13 years ago or so, and it was too creepy. The music was what really unnerved my wife. She had to stop watching because the music was creeping around. It's long drive up the hill, and the music. I found the movie creepy overall anyway. And I know Stephen King doesn't like it because, for one thing, Jack Nicholson seems crazy from the beginning, but Bela Lugosi is dead. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, no, the music in that is very effective. Yeah. And it's effective in The Thing too. You don't have to make me big. It's all right. I don't have anything to show. Just to talk about the songs. Thanks. Well, probably I have several contenders here. For soundtrack, I'm going to go with Goblin's soundtrack to Suspiria. That one, that is really creepy and well done. As far as Halloween songs, I have a lot I like. The Monster Mash, of course, by Bobby Pickett, and the Kickers 5 I enjoy. But Thriller is probably hard to beat. I think Michael Jackson's Thriller is pretty awesome, and the video. But my probably personal favorite is Black Number 1 by Typo Negative. I love that song. It's very. I'm
not sure if I know it. I must know.
It's.
Dang it! No.
Peter. What's the name of the singer? Dang it, Peter something. He's a giant. He's like almost 7 foot tall or something. He's this massive guy, and he looks like Frankenstein's monster already, kind of, although a handsome version, I guess. And he's got this deep sepulchral voice. But the song is really funny. He's making fun of goth girls, right? So Black Number 1 is the dye they use. Of course, he likes goth girls. He's a goth himself, it's a very cool song. They're very kind of interesting. I don't know what kind of metal they are exactly, but they have a lot of cool songs. But that one's really fun. I recommend you throw it on the playlist and give it a listen. Black Number 1 by Typo.
I probably know it. I think I do, but I just
They did a really good cover of Summer Breeze, and they did a song called My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, which is fun about his menage a trois and stuff. So. But Black Number 1 is a lot of fun. I like that a lot. I like, it's not a Halloween song exactly, but I like Voodoo by Godsmack. That's a really cool hypnotic song. So anyway, I think that's all I got there. You wanted to show a little extra stuff before we wrap up? You got some books?
No, it's okay. I showed a bunch, but I've got another stack of books. But yeah, I mean, we've already gone like an hour and a half. It's good. So I mean, but feel free to show some more if you'd like.
I don't have anything more, so I'm good. So if you want to wrap up, it's fine.
Yeah.
Menage a trois.
Yeah, I think my dogs want to go out.
Yeah, and my son probably needs some attention. So, but it was a lot of fun. And I got to go make him some
thanks
pancakes.
to all the people in the chat. Whenever you're on, I have way more that show up. So,
well, we got a lot of your comic friends this time. That was cool.
Yeah. That was nice.
Although I don't know where they went or if they're still there and they've just been quiet. But
they jumped in to be supportive, and then
I would have thought Erico would have showed up, but I guess he couldn't make this one.
Yeah, no biggie. So,
but no, that was a lot of fun as always, and we'll do it again sometime. Probably take a break next weekend. Yeah, camera's better. You can actually see what I'm showing. I was embarrassed because when I did the stream with just you, it wasn't so bad. But when we had Paul on there for some reason last weekend, my camera feed was god awful. So
my sister,
your sister was there all along, or just popping back in. I hope it wasn't too boring for you, Linda. Oh, thanks, Steve. Didn't hear much from you, so I thought you had left. Chadwick, of course, was there commenting through. Thank you very much, Chadwick. Yeah.
By Gore and Libro.
And Libro, we had 2 for the price of 1 there. But Mark, I'm sorry we always seem to be signing off when you join in. But I'd love to do a live stream with you someday.
I think Mark. He's strategic that way.
Yeah, he's probably strategically doing it that way, so he doesn't have to listen to us go on too long. No, Mark's got a great channel, Richardson Reads. It's a really good channel. He's got his grotto, he calls it his man cave. But he's got a fun channel. And Donald, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. I really like what you're doing over there. Just working on his next magnum opus there that he's putting together.
He's at work.
He's working on is it a horror one that he's doing next?
Well, he's putting together a book of all of Enrique Nieto's horror output. He's got all of these books. I've shown him multiple times. They're a lot of fun. So
they look gorgeous. His scanned reproductions, and they look really nice.
Yeah, all about one artist. Mostly
they're complete issues, though, right? He puts complete issues in there, right?
No, he only puts the artist's output. So if he's doing Nieto, it will only be the pieces from that book.
But it'll be like a complete story that Nieto did in the issue, right? Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
and he tries to put the covers and stuff in.
Yeah, he does. He puts the covers, and they're beautiful when they're done. And so, excuse me, I'm really looking forward to this book. And my sister said she couldn't watch. She's working.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks for stopping in anywhere. Oh, Sleepy. You can start the show now. Sorry, Sleepy. We're just ending the show now. Bye. But I'm glad you could make it. Hello and goodbye.
we're signing off now.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for joining in.
Thanks, guys and gals.
Go ahead and end the stream. Stick around for a few minutes. We could chat. All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you checking in. Not tired.